Hello, thank you for joining RasPipKr. I'm Martin Parker, and in this video I'm going to be changing my layout. As you can see, I've slightly changed my font. I have had an issue with the font, and I've just changed it, and I'm going to show you what it would look like. Right, so if I put the digital, do you know, I can't remember what it was. Digital counter, there we go. So that's digital counter. Try that. Right, so that's the wrong text. Is it lowercase? Oh, it had a 7 on it, didn't it? Digital counter 7. Yeah, there we go. Right. If you look at these two fonts, you'll see there's a slight difference. Now if I go into my heating menu for the set label, I'm going to get rid of this background here, and then you'll see, whoops, what am I doing? Right, so if I run that, you'll see now, you see how there's no background set to black. So basically the font is right at the top, it's very close on the left, there's a bit of a gap on the right, but there's a massive gap underneath. So for me to change my layout, and the way I'm thinking of having it, it's going to change back to the screensaver in a moment. But basically, I want to put my set temperature in this area here, so it's going to be, you know, that sort of size-ish, as big as I can get it, and the landing, because that is upstairs, that's going to go above it, and the living room, because that's downstairs, that's going to go underneath it. This layout isn't bad. It'd be nice if this text was a lot taller, so it could look a lot bigger, but yeah, I'm going to try this other layout and see what it looks like. Right, so let's take that back out and put the digits back in, and then you'll see the difference in the borders. So it's even top and bottom, there's a slight gap on the left and a slight gap on the right. So to me, that is a good border around the actual text. So I'm happy with that. Now I had to modify the actual the text font myself. So I went online, and I found there's a website that you can use. And it's called glyphastudio.com/online/, and what you do is you just load in your font, and it's quite straightforward on how to change it. You can actually make your own, etc. So I'm not going to go over that, but I'm going to change my layout. So what I want to do is, I've got my program button, and then I've got my temporary frame. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of the frame. So I'm just going to comment that out. Excuse me, I have a bit of a cough there. The up label, I'm not going to have that yet. I might put that back in. The up temperature label I will be having. Temperature spacer, I'm not going to need, because that was an in between the two temperature sensors and the bigger text. Now it's going to be horizontal ways. There's no need for that. The downstairs label, I'm not going to need, but I might bring that back in. And then the bottom temperature, yes, and then a temperature spacer. I don't think I'll need that as well, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to comment that out as well. Right, so I've got my set frame. I don't want to have a frame for that. I've got my label for set temperature. I'm not going to have that at the moment. And I've got my set temperature. Right, so I want that to be underneath this. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab this, Control X to cut it out, and I'm just going to stick it in there. Right, so we're just working with these 3 lines here. So up here we're using 0, 1 and 2 for our rows, and that is all column 0. So this is all going to be on them other columns. So I'm just going to get rid of the pack because we're going to continue using our grid format, and we're going to need to put it into our display frame, or disp frame as it's descripted. So there as well, and that wants to go into the disp frame as well. Right, I want to set that background back in for the set temperature, so I'm just going to copy that and press Control V to paste that in. Right, so that doesn't want to be, yes, that wants to be row 0, that wants to be column 1, row span 2, nope, we want that to be column span. Column span 2, and that's going to go in between the left hand buttons and the temperature up button. So that might change to span 3 yet, so we'll see about that. I'm just going to get rid of the sticky and the padding on that just for the time being. So same with this, get rid of the pack. This is going to be row 1. In fact, this wants to be row 0, column 1, and row span 3. So it's going to do the, if I just go back up, you've got the row 0 for the top left hand button, row 1, and then row 2 at the bottom left. So that's going to span across 3 rows, so that's okay. And just like before, I'm just going to get rid of the padding and the sticky settings. So, and now let's go to this bottom label. So this wants to be row 2, so that's going to be at the bottom, and it's going to start on column 1. That wants to be a column span, and just like the others, let's get rid of the padding so we can see it in its raw format for now. And that wants to be a, what row is that one? So it's column 4. So it's column. What's a column? Column. So if that's column 4 at the end, so column 1 wants to row span 3. Yeah, I believe that wants to be column span of 3. As well, and that will want to be column span of 3. Try that, see what that looks like. Fingers crossed. Yeah, not bad. So what I want to do is I want to increase the size of this text. This text, when it gets to size, ain't going to change because of the way that the font is and how it used to be, even though it had that weird border around it. If you have a 1 all this is actually part of that font area, so it's not going to start decreasing or extending when it goes to from a 1 to then multiple digits, you know, like that there. So you've got that gap. Perfect timing. So I want to change my set temperature size. I'm going to put that up to 150 and see how that looks. Not bad. So I have a bit of room, so I can get that a bit bigger, because that will move over the more I increase it. So I'm going to put that to 180. Oh yeah, it's getting looking better. So I can go a bit more. Let's go for, I took a guess on a previous video, 120. You probably thought it were planned, but it wasn't. Let's go with 220. Fingers crossed. Oof, too much. But the layout is looking alright to me. I just need to make that slightly smaller. So let's go for 200. It's an in between 180 to 220. And it's just slightly too big. If I move that out away from this side, I should have that button approximately there. So let's go with 190. That's not far off. Let's stick 1 or 2 on there. 192. And that looks about the same as that, and I'm happy with that. I know that's going to be upstairs because that is above, as in upstairs, and that is below, that is downstairs. I don't really think I need to put the text in there. I can do, it's not an issue, but I think it looks pretty cool as it is. So yeah, I'm happy with that. Awesome. I need to sort out this because I've changed my font. So I have a eye padding of 123. Is it still in the middle? No, it's gone up. So I need to. That's 123. Let's put that to 140 and see how that looks. What am I doing? I've got to wait for it to go back now. Start that again. So that looks about middle. I'm not going to be able to get that text font any much bigger. I could maybe squeeze a little bit more on that. Yeah, see if I can. So it's the time font. I know it's 163. So let's try 170 and see if that makes it. Yeah, it's too big. 166. Is there a gap at either side? Yeah, there is. So awesome. So I just need to increase the Y padding. So that gap is the same as this gap, but I want that a little bit down, which will put this text into the middle area. So yeah, let's be cheeky. Let's go for 165, so we do have a nice steady gap around it. So 140, so let's go, it was a step, so let's go with 150, because I still want to have that slight gap here. Oh, that's cool, is that? For when the mouse gets repositioned to this bottom corner here. And you'll see when if I click on there, and then you have to wait 30 seconds, and you'll see that the mouse jumps down to the bottom right hand corner. And I just want to make sure that it does not give that grey background. What we're long now? Yes, awesome. So you can see where my mouse position is. It's right on that last pixel or so. So that is looking good. So that is my layout I'm going to have for my heating. So I'm quite happy with that. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. Super. Yeah, like that. Yeah, it doesn't need any text, that. What I might do is maybe change the colour of the background, or do something, or maybe change the dot colour. Oh no, I don't really want to have a dot change. I just want to have something so that when the actual heating is on, as in my boiler's doing its work, something is on screen. So even in the time screen, I could do with having something on there so you know that the actual boiler's running, so you don't have to touch it to see this screen. So that's something I'll implement at a later date. But yeah, it's all part of, you know, I'm doing this on the fly. I've got nothing. This is my project. So yeah, let's and I'm happy that you're watching and seeing the progress as I go along. So thank you for watching in this video, and then I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.